Yes, that's the one they called Flower Power, Guy LaFleur, who did his share of bouncing off boards with a pair of skates on for the Habs and Nordique. Still a legend in this part of the world, and still a hero to one of Canada's best divers, David Bedard. We know Bedard can dive. Can he handle asking the questions?
Hello, I'm standing here with the almighty Guy LaFleur. Guy, how are you?
Very good, thanks.
Excellent. Now that you've had a chance to see some diving, what do you think? Do you think diving's a lot tougher than hockey?
I think it's different, first of all, and it's more gracious in hockey, and the athletes needs a lot of concentration to perform well. So I like it very much. It's a nice sport.
Excellent. I understand from talking to you earlier that you do some backyard diving. Is that true?
Yes, I did a few in the past, and I used to do the 1.5, but that's about it. My career stopped there.
Well, that's excellent. Seriously, though, Guy, what's your involvement with Titrex?
Well, Titrex International, I'm the Vice President of Public Relations, and I'm traveling a lot across Canada and try to explain to the people what kind of product we sell and what's the use of it.
I understand there was a big announcement about Titrex and their involvement with Canadian amateur diving. Can you explain that to us for me, please?
A couple of days ago, we just announced a 3-year contract as a sponsorship. The value is $300,000 for 3 years. Plus, we installed a fundraising program where they're going to be able to get more money eventually. So we're very happy about it and very honored to be associated with the Diving Club Association.
Well, we appreciate it a great deal as well. But getting back to sports, with my particular build, I know I'm a little short, but do you think I'd make an all right right winger?
Oh, I think so, yes. With a few practice, no problem.
I got the concentration, I just have to get the power. Thanks very much, Guy.
Thank you.
7.5 at 8 for Bedard's interview technique. He's racking up the same scores for his diving. A 33-point margin over Bill Hayes, 36 in front of Jay Strifler with 2 rounds to go. And this is Jay Strifler, who now trains in Victoria.
And his dive is the back 2 1/2 somersault in the pike position, DD 3.0. He's been having a little bit of difficulty throughout this final round. Let's see how we can handle this dive. Oh, that's a total miss. He held on to the pike way long, so when he comes out, there's nothing he can do. He has to go past vertical. A big mistake here. He says this is the dive he dislikes most. Well, I can see why. He just came out too late. He was worried about it and wasn't showing the confidence that he needs.
Scores for Jay Strifler, 1-3, 2 4s, and 3 4.5, and 1-5 for a total of 38.70. This is 18-year-old Philippe Comtois, Montreal.
And this is the reverse 2 1/2 somersault in the pike position, DD 3.0. It's one of his tougher dives. He's been diving, Steve, for 11 years. A great dive. It was high and smooth, and he had lots of room when he came out of the pike to drop in for a very clean and straight up and down entry. Good, strong hurdle. Look how high he is off the board. He has a fairly good pike position and a nice lineup on the bottom.
And the judges like that one, 6 8s and 1 8.5 for Comtois for a total of 72 points. Looking now at 26-year-old, the University of Michigan grad, Bill Hayes, currently in 2nd place.
And Steve, if we go back to the 9th round, he did an absolutely amazing back 2 1/2 somersault and received 8.5 and 9s. He's diving extremely well. He's been concentrating on the springboards only, and it shows here with a dive like that with a total rip entry.
He's the 1993 Winter National Champion on 10 meter, but he is only diving 3 meter from now on.
And this is the inward 2 1/2 somersault in the pike position, the DD 3.0. It's important on the takeoff here that he stays right over the board. He has to jump high so that when his feet spin past the board, they clear it. Oh, Steve, he's fallen off the board. You just never see something like that happening in a competition like that. I don't know what happened.
His coach can't believe it either. That was a slip for Bill Hayes. That will go into the books as no dive.
Look, right there. He's taking off. He doesn't do a crow hop, which is a technique where you double bounce and sometimes you fall off. He just slipped.
No marks for Bill Hayes. He's okay. He's trying to shake it off by doing a little jogging on the pool deck. We know he'll be back. This is 22-year-old Chris Lepoole, a third-year social sciences student at the University of Calgary.
And this is the inward 3 1/2 somersault in the tuck position. Now he has to totally blank out of his mind what he just saw Bill do coming off the board. This is a very difficult dive, DD 3.4. A good dive. He did leave it a hair short of the vertical entry position, but it looked nice in the air. It's a really tough dive. You need a lot of power coming off. You need explosive action into your tuck. He just didn't quite have enough room, but he did a fairly good job.
And the scores for Chris Lepoole, 4 6.5s, 2 7s, 1 7.5 for a total of 68.34. This is 22-year-old Jason Napper of Thunder Bay.
And his dive is the forward 2 1/2 somersault with 1 twist, DD 2.8. That was a very good dive. It looked on the takeoff like he missed the board a little bit. He pounded it, so it's very difficult to get back up, but he did an excellent job. We'll see here that he's just a little out of sync when he comes off the board, but he muscled it around. He gets a somersault going, good twist action, and straight in on the bottom.
A very strong diver, and he showed us why. He gets 2 7s, 3 7.5s, and 2 8s for a total of 63.
David.
28-year-old David Bedard from Point Claire, 12-time national champion on 3 meter.
And this is the reverse 1 1/2 somersault with 3 1/2 twists. Very difficult. Absolutely spectacular. A great takeoff, good twisting action, and straight in on the bottom. He had incredible confidence. He's talking to his coach, Don Webb. A great takeoff. He's right up over the board. Perfect action here. Finished at board level. Lots of room for a clean entry.
Isn't that the mark of a great champion? They make the tough dives look so easy. 4 7.5s, 2 8s, and 1 8.5 for a total of 76.23. One more round to come in the men's 3 meter. Stay with us.
Next Saturday.
With one dive to come in the men's 3 meter, David Bedard has a lock on yet another title. Jason Napper has taken over second place with Chris Lepoole in third. This is Jay Strifler, who played football at 185 pounds with 28-inch thighs. He now dives at 172 with 24-inch thighs. Just rearrange the weight a little bit differently.
And he'll need strong legs to do this dive, the reverse 1 1/2 and 3 1/2 twists. It was a good dive. He worked the twist well, but he needs to be up higher to get the long drop into the entry that the judges like to see for the very high scores. He's rushing the board here a little bit, so he's just not in time, and it's not finished as high and as cleanly as he needs to be.
The scores for Jay Strifler, 1 6.5, 5 7s, 1 7.5 for a total of 69.30. This is Philippe Comtois, who needs 8.5s to move into first place for the time being.
And this is the inward 2 1/2 somersault in the pike position. That's an excellent dive. He came out high above the board. You could see him actually looking for the water so he could get that perfect vertical entry. It was tremendous. A good takeoff here. Look how high he is in the great pike position. There you can see him looking, and he goes straight in the water.
And the scores for Comtois, 2 7.5s, 4 8s, 1 8.5 for a total of 71.10. Goes to second with those marks and that total. And now Bill Hayes out of medal contention with a slip and no dive in the 10th round. I wonder if he's got that in the back of his mind.
I'm sure he must be feeling a little rattled at this point. Let's see if he can get it together with this reverse 2 1/2 in the pike position. He needs a good takeoff. No, he totally missed it. He actually missed it on the takeoff. He was doing what we call hanging 10. His feet were over the board, so he was just leaning forward throughout the entire dive. There's not enough room to complete it. You see here he's rushing, and he is overhanging the board a little bit. He's trying his best to work that pike, but there's just not enough room, Steve.
So a no dive for Bill Hayes, followed by 5 4s, 2 4.5s for a total of 36.90. He is not a happy camper. This is Chris Lepoole of Calgary in third place, needs 8s for second.
And this is the forward 3 1/2 somersault in the pike position.
Excellent dive. It was high, smooth, a great pike position, and straight in. Steve, he may get those 8s. I certainly would give it an 8. It was fabulous. Look at the strength here in the hurdle. He's way up over the board. Good pike position. He's out at board level, and a nice lineup.
Okay, let's see if the judges agree with you. 2 7.5s, 3 8s, and 2 8.5s for a total of 74.40 for Chris Lepoole. Now, Jason Napper, he needs 7s to move into first.
And this is the forward 1 1/2 somersault with 3 twists. Normally, Steve, this is a great dive for him. He saves it to the end, and he is very strong in the takeoff.
Excellent. A great takeoff. Near perfect position in the air. His feet moved just a little bit on the bottom in the entry, but other than that, it was great. He looks happy. Look how high he is in the air and how good the action is, out at board level and a lineup. But you can see right at the bottom, his feet did move.
And Napper knows that he nailed one. 3 9s, 4 8.5s for a total of 75.69. Now, David Bedard, all he needs for the title, 2 1/2s.
And this is the back 1 1/2 somersault with 3 1/2 twists. This is a lot of dive. He's got to have explosive start, good twisting action, and right in.
Excellent. That is near perfect. Good distance away from the board. It went straight in. What another great performance from David.
Was there a doubt?
I don't think so. A good takeoff.
Look at the position in the air. It's perfect. What can I say?
1 7.5, 6 8s, 76.80. 13th title on 3 meter for Bedard, who has 3 silver Commonwealth medals in the bank, but no gold. That should change in Victoria. David Bedard, a member of Canada's national team since 1983, and the way he's diving, his brightest moments, certainly in the Commonwealth Games, maybe just around the corner.
I think if everything keeps going and rolling along the way it has up until this point, I don't think there would be anyone to stop me, because I think I'm right on top of the game. I'm peaking well, and I just think that I'm just going to get that much better.
He's tops in this country, 54 better than Jason Napper, 70 in front of Chris Lepoole. Comtois comes on in the late rounds to take 4th. The Titrex Winter Nationals here in Quebec City went pretty much the way we thought they would. It was a chance for Canada's best to compete against their teammates, to see how they stack up. But it'll be a different story at Dive Canada in Victoria.
It certainly will, Steve. We have the world's top divers attending this competition. It will be one of the best this year. 14 nations are attending, including our own great Canadian divers. The top U.S. divers, Chinese, and we have some countries from Europe, led by the strong German and Italian teams.
And we also have a couple of nations from the Pacific Rim.
New Zealand and Australia will be in attendance, and they're key because those are the divers that our Canadians must beat to get gold at the Commonwealth Games.
I've had a chance to see that magnificent new facility in Victoria, Janet. I think you're going to love it.
I can hardly wait to be there.